It's the quickest way to get your news without being there yourself. News on demand at KGAB.com.
All right, good morning. 8:40 is your time here on Cheyenne's number News Talk radio station. Glad to have you with us. My name is Gary Freeman, and the video cam is now on. If you want to join in, all you have to do is go out to our KGAB channel on YouTube and click it on. I see that more and more of you are beginning to join the conversation here, which is great. Got a little open line time this morning, 632-6500, 632-3323 to talk about whatever is on your mind. As you know, there's a finance committee today at 11 o'clock with the city council. Doug Randall will be there, and they are going to vote on the 5%. What I found really interesting is City Councilman Mike Luna evidently voted no on that because he feels like it should be even lower than that. And then, of course, we've heard the mayor, Rick Kaysen, say, well, you can't do as much with 8% as you can with 5%. But if things are not immediately needing to be done, then if we've got 5 or 6 years to make some of this happen, that is what people are saying. Well, let's do 5% and everything will be okay. Again, the phone number this morning is 632-6500, 632-3323 is the phone number. And we have this Alzheimer's commercial PSA that's on, and I happened to check out Still Alice yesterday, and it is a movie that was put out last year in 2014, directed by Richard Glatzer, and stars Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore, for any of you that are Hunger Games addicts, in the last installment of it, she played the president of the rebellion side, opposite of President Snow. Also, Alec Baldwin was in it, Kristen Stewart, and some others in it. And it basically is about a woman named Dr. Alice Howland, who's a linguistics professor at the Columbia University. And she just gets done celebrating her 50th birthday, and she's teaching this class in college and forgets the word lexicon. Then they show her jogging around on campus, and she forgets where she is, and come to find out that she is an early stager of Alzheimer's disease. She goes and gets checked out. They find out she's got a lot of metals on the brain, and I don't know all the medical term for it, but I know that if you have a lot of aluminum on the brain and things like that, that can, the studies are finding that can help bring about Alzheimer's. And her being a 50-year-old woman, being very, very young, it was a very rare case. And also she found out that she had passed it on to at least one of her daughters who had been checked out, and they found out that she had it. But this is getting to be more and more and more of an issue with Alzheimer's, and we appreciate all the work Janet Lewis is doing. As a matter of fact, at Thankful Thursdays a couple of weeks ago, many of you and people like you who went out to the event at the Redwood Lounge on Thursday night raised over $13,000 to help support Alzheimer's. And this is getting to be more and more of a deal. Now, we put a lot of money into cancer, as we should have through the years, but now they're finding out that more and more people are getting this Alzheimer's disease, and it's very scary. It's not just forgetting, it's not just not remembering, but after a while, the brain literally forgets how to function your body, from breathing to heartbeat. I mean, it can really, really be a disease that's very, very killer. So if you haven't had a chance to go out and check out the movie Still Alice, it is at the Red Box now. You can rent it if they have that available at any one of your stores here around town. I just thought it was very, very interesting. I'm not one to promote movies, but this one here I thought was very well put together. And it kind of gives you insight on what Alzheimer's people go through. I know I lost my stepmother to it. She had dementia, which turned into Alzheimer's. I know of a man right now, of course, he's 92 years old, who pretty much has about 30 days to live. They found cancer all in his bones. But before he took the trip to Canada, I had talked with him, and he was struggling remembering. He's always been pretty a sharp man. Matter of fact, he was an engineer, a railroad engineer, and the big boy in the park, he actually drove that. He used to drive that home back in his early days when he'd get lunch and then take the train back to the depot. I guess they let him do that. But now I found out that he's in full-fledged Alzheimer's. He doesn't remember anything. But again, he's 92 years old. My stepmother was about the age as this character in Still Alice. She was about 50 when I think she was diagnosed with this dreaded disease, and she just went downhill from there. She got to the place to where she would just babble. She didn't know anybody. It was very, very sad. So to have Janet Lewis with the Alzheimer's Association really picking up the torch and highlighting this, I know CRMC is doing the same thing, and we're also highlighting it here on the program. Hopefully it'll bring some more awareness, because I know it's probably touched some of your lives as well. Again, the movie is Still Alice, and you can pick it up at Redbox. 8:45 is the time. Good morning.
There are many sounds in your daily life. Ones that make you smile. Ones that help you relax. And there are some sounds that help save lives. Wireless emergency alerts, now on many mobile devices, use a unique sound and vibration to bring you critical information about emergencies in your area. With updates from local sources you know and trust, you can be in the know wherever you are. Learn more at ready.gov/alerts. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Attention medical professionals, you're invited to visit the Scrub Hub inside Wyoming Work Warehouse. There you'll find the latest styles of scrubs for both men and women in sizes ranging from extra small to 5X and petite to talls, featuring several top lines including Koi, Carhartt, Dickies, Grey's Anatomy, and Wonder Wink. Find what you're looking for right here at home. Stop by today. The Scrub Hub inside Wyoming Work Warehouse, 3502 Dell Range, next to King Soopers.
You're listening to KGAB Mornings with Gary Freeman on AM 650 KGAB.
And good morning. 8:47 is the time. If you'd like to be on the program this morning, 632-6500, 632-3323. Now, we have scheduled Jillian Balow to be in with us at 9:10 this morning, Superintendent of Public Instruction. I'm hoping we got the scheduling worked out on that. I'm pretty sure we do, but at any rate, she should be in. Talking about her trip to China, which she has gotten a lot of heat on social media over this China trip. A lot of people, they perceive certain things, or in their mind, they think she's going to China to study Communist Core and Common Core and all that. And I get it. Trust me, I do. But we want to find out exactly why she went, why she was paid to go over there, and on and on and on. Well, it was 123 years that this sat dormant, but it was 35 years ago today that Mount St. Helens erupted after being dormant for 123 years, Doug Randall.
I remember this because I was living in South Dakota, and we had ash on our cars halfway across the continent from Washington State.
Wow.
I remember it well.
Yes. And I know down in Southern California, I remember seeing ash just kind of all around. It wasn't heavy ash, but I was about 10 years old. But I do remember that, and we were like, what is going on here? Well, Mount St. Helens erupted, and there were lives lost at that event.
Heaven help us if the Yellowstone caldera ever blows up, but that's another subject.
Yeah, well, I saw a movie on that one time.
I've seen some TV shows on that.
And it ain't going to be pretty.
No, and we're not safe here either.
No.
Hopefully that won't happen.
But at least we're in Cheyenne, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to book as quick as I can to Texas, brother. I'm going to get 3 people in the car. We're going to trade off driving. We will not stop except to pee and pump gas, bro.
Well, depending on which scenario you leave or you read, that may or may not be sufficient. So
yeah, well, and then they have different zones.
Right,
I studied.
right.
Like one is a hot impact zone. It spreads all the way out, I think, all the way into Wisconsin or something
it's
like.
Well, like I told you,
huge.
Mount St. Helens, we had it 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I mean, I guess it's one thing. But they're talking about, not just impact zones with the ash, but also the damage that can be done, and so that's going to roll.
Well, in
You're going to have
1880,
lava everywhere.
in 1888, a volcano named Krakatoa erupted in the south. I believe it's the South Pacific. The days were shorter for a year after that around the globe.
Oh my goodness!
So I mean, it's a massive impact.
And then let's not even talk about Pompeii, which was quite a long time ago. But it was an interesting thing about Pompeii that when they had dug that up, and I know you being a history buff, I mean, there were people sewing, there were people standing guard.
It was almost instantaneous. Mount Vesuvius.
Yes. It was instant, and just incredible. Just incredible. And to dig all those people up and find out what they were doing in the midst of it is just pretty incredible. So again, I don't know if we're celebrating the 35th anniversary of Mount St. Helens erupting, but we are remembering it. after being dormant for 123 years. So, all right, Doug, well, thanks for your experience and bringing it on. My name is Gary Freeman. 8:50 is the time. We still have some open phone lines this morning at 632-6500, 632-3323. More to come straight ahead. Good morning.
Don't just stand there. Come get your truck on at Terrell Doyle Chevrolet. Look here. With hundreds of new Chevrolet cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, Terrell Doyle has a Chevy for every budget, and you'll love our brand of dealer. We're overstocked and underpriced and looking to sell every new Chevy Silverado in stock before the end of the week. We're stacking them deep and selling them cheap. Hurry in and take $10,000 off new Chevy Silverados. No reasonable offer will be turned away. Guaranteed. That's $10,000 off MSRP on any new Chevy Silverados. When it comes to getting your truck on, nobody beats Terrell Doyle Chevrolet. But check it out. We do more than just trucks. Yes, sir. Get a big 15% off MSRP. Cash back on select new 2015 Chevy models, including Cruze, Equinox, Traverse, Impala, Malibu, and more. That's right. 15% off MSRP. Cash back. You'll love our brand of dealing at Terrell Doyle Chevrolet, just north of High Prices. Online at TerrellDoyleChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. All rebates apply to dealer.
1 in 9 babies will be born prematurely, needing the specialized care of a neonatal ICU. Toby's Shower for Babies knows that new parents appreciate any kindness during this stressful time. That's why they donate baskets to the Level 4 NICU in Denver, the closest destination for preemies. The baskets contain blankets, books, a stuffed animal, onesies, and more. They brighten up the room as well as mom and dad's spirits. You can help by donating to this caring organization. Visit showerforbabies.org or find them on Facebook.
Cheyenne's #1 news talk radio, day weather, at the top and bottom of every hour on AM 650, KGAB, and KGAB.com.
All right, 8:52 is the time this morning. Good morning. We still have some open line time if you want to take advantage of it. 632-6500. What do you think of Amy Sterdam being the new director of the DDA? You think there's going to be any hope for that? And we were talking a little bit off air, and I think she's trying to be pretty realistic about her new position. She said some years ago DDA had like $144,000 with a lot of volunteers, and she asked, why do they need all of that money moving forward? So I think we're going to get some good fiscal responsibility out of Amy, and of course she is also involved with building the Children's Museum of Cheyenne downtown in the Hole, which a lot of people have been very concerned with, to include yourself. 632-6500, 632-3323. If you would like to be on the program today, now is your time to get your thoughts of whatever you have going on. And I don't know if you heard this story earlier, but a surprise announcement coming 9 months after police in riot gear dispelled racially charged protests. President Barack Obama is banning the federal government from providing some military-style equipment, of which we got some of that here in Cheyenne, and putting stricter controls on other weapons and gear distributed by law enforcement. Now, for a lot of people, they're shaking their heads and itching their heads. They were thinking for sure this guy is a martial law guy. He's just waiting. And then we've got the whole Jade thing going on. I believe it's down in Texas, where they were shutting down Walmarts, and you have military training down there. Some are saying that's in case martial law should come about. They're being trained for that. Of course, a lot of our military also have said they would never attack their own hometowns. But the announcement comes after the White House suggested last year that Obama would maintain programs that provide the type of military-style equipment used to respond to demonstrators last summer in Ferguson, Missouri, because of their broader contribution to public safety. Now, we talked with Chief Brian Kozak here, and he said the last thing you want as law enforcement that are taking care of riots or anything like that would happen here is to invite the military in to help you. He said that is the last-ditch effort. He said he was talking to us on the program and saying you want to have the communication open with the public, and you work on that during the times when you're in downtime, like now. And I think the police department has tried to do a very good job with that. To the phones. Good morning. It's your turn.
Yes. I just want to make a comment on the type of equipment used to dispel riots and whatever. If memory serves me right, when the East Germans and other European countries tried to dispel the rioters in their countries way back when, it amazes me that we don't use some of the same techniques. Basically, water hoses, water cannons, and so on and so forth. The last time I saw those used was down in Alabama back in the 60s.
Right.
So I just wanted to mention that and go back in history. Perhaps we need to look back there and use some of the non-lethal water hoses, water cannons.
Well,
thank you.
No, thank you. That's definitely a good point. I mean, why should it come to military action to where we have something that would, like what happened at Kent State during the Vietnam War when the protesters were out there, regardless of what they were protesting about? Some say, well, it was anti-war. Some people say it was something else, but that's not even my point as to why. It's the fact that somebody died, people died in the process of it. Why not go back to using water hoses? Well, I don't know the answer to that question. I know they are more non-lethal, but also you have to remember that a lot of these rioters, they're not using water hoses anymore. They're using weapons, guns, machine guns, handguns, and on and on and on. And plus, down in Alabama, a lot of those peaceful protests, they still got water shot at them just because they were black. And so, anyway, that's another topic for another day. We've got Sean Hannity Morning Minute coming up straight ahead. And then at 9:10, we should be talking with Superintendent of Public Instruction, Jillian Balo. We'll find out about her trip to China and find out what's going on as the top ed chief here in the state of Wyoming. And also, we'll take some of your phone calls. Just getting through a Tuesday, a very cloudy Tuesday. Our current temperature right now here is 38 degrees. My name is Gary. This is KGAB Mornings. Good morning.